All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking a little bit about the 63rd annual Grammy Award show. Just to let you know, this won't be a complete play-by-play. I'm going to contradict myself. I did not watch the entire thing. I basically watched some of the highlights online. I kept up with what was going on due to Twitter, and I watched several performances. Again, look, Silk Sound, I cannot wait for their full album to drop later this year. Leave the Door Open. My goodness, that's a beautiful song. I didn't listen to it until for the first time until a few days ago. I don't know how this went under my radar. I don't know why I didn't get any kind of alert on YouTube or anything, but I randomly came across it and my ears were just assaulted by one of the best songs I've heard in quite a while. Hard to tell what's my favorite song of 2021 so far. Leave the Door Open or Agatha All Along. If you watch WandaVision, you know why I have to make that tough choice. But yeah, so there are a few things just to kind of, give my thoughts on in regards to like winners, black people or specifically black artists who boycott the Grammys and just things like that. So once again, this isn't a complete play-by-play about, every single performance, every single winner. I'm just kind of giving my Cliff Notes version of everything that went on, over the past few hours. So before going further in the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And as always, make sure you subscribe. I know I said it before, but if you've been watching more of my recent videos, and I'm really trying to push the percentage of viewers who watch my content up who are actually subscribed. So we can reach about 40% by the, end of the month. That would be great. So if you watch the content, but you haven't subscribed, remedy that by just hitting subscribe. That's all I'm asking you to do. So let's talk about the queen herself, Beyonce. Just congrats to her. I mentioned this, in live streams and whatnot. I haven't been a really big Beyonce fan in the past few years. I'm more of a fan of her Destiny's Child era as well as some of her first solo outings and collaborations. I think, around the time of the Drunken Love and Lemonade era, I kind of felt, and again, this is just my personal preference. So if there are any Beyonce stans or fans out there, you can assault my comment section here with bees. I really don't care, but it's just my personal opinion. I just feel like I'm not the audience, the fan base she's trying to reach. And nothing against women empowerment. I just feel like, Beyonce's music seems geared towards more a specific audience than anything else. But of course, with the Black is King album and whatnot, that really is for, black people to feel beautiful, like we have purpose, which is great. So congrats to her on reaching that milestone of, I believe, let me just double check here, 28 Grammy Awards total, which I believe ties her with Quincy Jones. And that means, what's his name? George Solti, S-O-L-T-I, a legendary Hungarian British composer who's directed the Chicago Symphony Orchestra for 22 years. He's won 31 Grammys out of 74 nominations. So basically, he's at number one with 34. I'm sorry, 31. Quincy Jones and Beyonce are both tied with 28. Now, to be completely honest, it would not surprise me if within the next year or two, depending on how many projects she puts out there, Beyonce could be the most, not just female, because tonight she did break the record for being the female with the most Grammy Awards. She beat out Alison Krauss, who has 27 Grammys. Beyonce could be the most decorated Grammy Award winning artist of all time. Black, female artist. But no, she'll be the number one artist of all time in terms of Grammy Awards. Now, I don't really want to get into the great debate of, this means Beyonce is better than Michael Jackson. Not really. Hey, hear me out. It's not about, me not trying to argue the point because we shouldn't put black people against each other. No, it isn't really about them being black. It's about them being artists in general. What I'm saying is you gotta look at the fact that when Mike was in his prime, he was winning Grammys and all sorts of awards. But obviously, once the mid 90s and everything, that's when it kind of peltered out for him, because he dealt with so many personal issues, legal issues. So he really wasn't in the zone for making music. Prince, honestly, in my opinion, didn't really give a damn, because he was more concerned about putting out the content he wanted as opposed to Billboard or Grammy success. So in a way, Prince was like, you know, and I don't want to just say Prince was doing it for the hell of it, but he was growing as an artist. Sadly, it wasn't until, you know, after his death when I started to appreciate it, the craftsmanship. Sure, I'm just like the, you know, the average person who loved the Purple Rain and, you know, 1999 albums, where even Sign of the Times and whatnot. But after he died, I really began to appreciate the fact that Prince wasn't just a Purple Rain guy. His music evolved. He was like a few from that era who are very, very, very ahead of their time. So I wasn't able to appreciate the music when I was a kid for obvious reasons. But yeah, just congrats to Beyonce. Even Blue Ivy walked away with her first Grammy. So a family of winners. Oh, fun fact, Jay-Z has, and I don't want to say only 23, because 23 is a huge number. Jay-Z has 23 Grammys. Beyonce has 28. Beyonce is tied with Quincy Jones for the #2 spot, and Jay-Z's at a comfortable #9. So just a family of winners right there in all categories. And also, I believe Jay-Z sold part of, what was it, Tidal or not Tidal, or was it something else? It was some huge money thing that just that's a family of just money breadwinners. I don't know what else to say. Okay, so now talking about the performances, you know, from the ones I saw, yeah, they were all right, but Silk Sonic just stole the show. When I tell you, it felt like like a Temptation vibe, and, you know, Bruno had that Michael Jackson falsetto. It felt like a little Stevie Wonder sprinkle in there. I saw this great comment that said, Bruno Mars is like the reincarnation of Sammy Davis Jr. to the next level. And I'm like, oh, just soulful. There's nothing else I could say aside from soulful, that performance. And I actually rewatched the performance like 8 times already, because Bruno Mars uploaded the video of the performance. And I left a comment on there saying, you know, let me pull it up, because I was really feeling this tune, man. This was just so great. So great. Oh, let me pause that. I don't want no copyright strikes. Yeah, I think my comment is one of the top ones. Yeah, it's already over 700 likes. I said, this is what we need more of. Talented artists joining forces to create long-lasting music rather than a viral hit on a social media platform that will fizzle out in a week or two. So Silk Sonic is comprised of Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. I didn't even know about this group until just now, but I definitely need to check out their music. But I mean, and that's nothing against, you know, like Cardi B and Meg Stallion, all these other people doing like Up and all these other songs that, you know, obviously reach success, you know, get a lot of streams, make a lot of money, hit, you know, reach a lot of awards. And of course, in the day and age we live in, more people are concerned about making hits for, you know, Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok, which I'm not knocking the hustle. You do what you do in order to get that money. But in terms of songs that will have that long lasting impact, you can't beat that. Sure, you might get more streams, more clicks and everything, and I get it, it's all about that money. But in terms of that music that's going to be everlasting, I mean, I remember just reading a tweet. No, actually, somebody responded to my comment on Bruno Mars's video. They were like, yeah, I agree with everything you just said. This is why Bruno Mars's content always gets like 1 billion views on YouTube, because regardless of your age or what year it is, people will come back to that music. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So actually, I pulled up the Wikipedia page for Silk Sonic and the history of it. In 2017, Anderson .Paak was the opening act for Bruno Mars on the European leg of the 24 Magic World Tour. In April of that same year, both of them worked together for Chic's album It's About Time, and worked on music while on tour that appeared on Paak's album Ventura. In 2021, last month actually, Mars announced the band saying, "We locked in and made an album. The band's called Silk Sonic. It was named after Bootsy Collins after playing the album for him." Damn, that's amazing. damn, I'm so happy for this, because if you want to go back, I'm talking about when I was a kid, it was Babyface, a couple members of After 7, and Casey and JoJo, I believe. Milestone was the group, and they did that one song from Soul Food, Care About You. And it's like I remember watching the unsung episode of After 7, and when they got to that segment, you know, the success of that one song kind of birthed the idea of them becoming a legit super group, but due to like other projects and everything, they couldn't do it. Unfortunately, After 7 were the ones who suffered the most from that, because that kind of boosted their career, would have done more for them. But, you know, Babyface had a lot on his plate, Casey and JoJo as well, so the group never happened. But I feel like this is the second chance we didn't get. So it's almost like, you know, Milestone didn't fully become a thing, but Silk Sonic is going to give us at least a full album. So I cannot wait to see what happens next with them. Just looking at the awards, you know, if you know me, I'm not really up to date on a lot of current, you know, musical ventures out there, especially over the past year, because not a lot of music was put out, which is a good thing due to, you know, well, the pandemic kind of slowed down a lot of things, but at the same time, more people weren't able to go to studios and put out music. So what was out there was really what was out there. Of course, you know, that leads to the next subject I'm going to discuss, being, you know, the snubs and people boycotting. But let me just browse through the different winners. There were a lot of performers, actually. Let me just look through these real quick. Yeah, I don't. A lot of these songs I don't really know because I haven't really listened to them. Nope. Oh well. But let's just, yeah, Folklore, Cardigan. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Taylor Swift fan, but her last two albums, I wasn't that big on them. But that's just because that particular genre, like folk music, isn't for me. But I mean, the woman has an audience, and like, even though I'm not like a person who felt connected to that music, she obviously still has a fan base for good reason. But let's just go to the last category of this video I want to discuss, and that's whether or not, you know, black people should boycott the Grammys and what, you know, that entails. I'll just say that I get it to an extent, but I saw this great article that talked about how black people want to boycott the Grammys, but at the same time, they don't support their own award shows like the NAACP Awards, the BET Awards, the Soul Train Awards, you know, that kind of stuff. That is valid, but I can see both sides of the coin here, because on the one hand, you know, regardless if you're a musical artist, let's say if you're an actor, what's the highest form of recognition? You know, like the Oscar. I believe like in, what do they call it? The Tony Awards is for acting, like theater and stuff. The Dove Awards, I believe, is like, you know, for Christian songwriters, and the list goes on. Like, there are various forms of recognition and awards for different forms of career paths in music and sports and, you know, entertainment, what have you. It's great to win like a BET award or NAACP award or Video Music Award, but the Grammy is the pinnacle of recognition for your musical talents, your art. Not necessarily talent, because, you know, more often than not, it's about the success rather than the talent. So I can definitely feel why some people feel snubbed, because regardless, the Weeknd's album After Hours was like the album. Blinding Lights was the song of 2020. So to actually have 0 nominations is appalling. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, the album just hit so many records, like, you know, top of the charts and this and that. And he killed the performance at, like, you know, live performances at different award shows and on SNL. Creative music videos, even though I didn't fully understand the message at once, so I'm glad it was explained. He just killed it. So I get it. It's like, if you accomplish all these things, how the hell am I not recognized by the Grammy Awards, the Academy or whatever? So you know, The Weeknd is just one of many examples. But yeah, I do feel like, you know, you can't really cast a shadow to the Grammys while you're also casting, well, while you've been casting a shadow to the, well, I hate to say it, but the lesser awards, you know, the ones that, you know, your own people hype you up for. Yo, BET Awards, where you at? But then you don't show up. So yeah, I can understand how there might be some quote unquote backlash, like, you know, the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry situation. Like, oh, we really supposed to sympathize with you? I mean, you know, you're married to a, well, even though Prince doesn't have a title, you're both, you have like a deal with Spotify and all, you got millions. So you're, what if you're not fully embraced by a royal family because you're not fully white or whatever? But it's a situation where you see both sides of the coin. So let me just say, regardless, interesting show from what I saw. I'll definitely catch more highlights later today as they're uploaded online. But I just feel like I'm not really as connected to a lot of current music. I think one of the biggest things is the lack of times I've been out shopping, you know, like when I'm walking around, like let's say a Target or Walmart, and I hear a song. More often than not, I'm introduced to a lot of current music because I just randomly hear it in the car on the radio, or I'm you know, walking through a store shopping. Since, you know, the pandemic happened and a lot of that shopping got eliminated, I'm not as really clued into what's hot and what's not. Not to mention, with a lot of the songs I do listen to, it's like I just don't listen to it because, you know, the Cardi B songs like Up. I remember I looked at the video because it randomly popped up in my notifications when it first got released, and it was less than 3 minutes long. And I'm like, wait, so that's it? Like, that's the whole song? I mean, music is definitely different nowadays, so I really do appreciate people like, let's say, The Weeknd or Bruno Mars, just to name a couple of examples. They really harken back to the original flavor and quality of what music used to be. So those are my thoughts on the Grammys. You can let me know your 2 cents in the comment section below. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.